Hey, how you doing? All right. We're here to talk about Lion's Share. We're here to talk about Chapter 4. So pretty exciting. The 96 carat Chivor Emerald. Chivor? Chivor? Chivor. Blaze the path. All right. So quick recap of chapters 1, 2, and 3. Right. Mirror imaging, reflections, flipping, turning, all in play. Uh, Details from last chapter. Look at the details, but details in words, not details in pictures. Which shout out to a few of you have reached out to me with, hey, there are some details in chapter 3 that you missed. I appreciate that, and out of confidence, I'm not going to share them. But yeah, I'm not really sure I'm ready to go down that path right now. But they look good, and I don't want to discourage anyone who has found the details in that chapter. Keep going with that, because the more people that travel more roads, more people travel, the better a chance we'll have at finding the box. Mirror, details, and stories inside of stories we're looking for. All right, so those are like the three main clues that we're going. We're also looking at, I haven't really found more than chapter 1 that covers the boreal forest area, Wisconsin, Michigan, Minnesota. Nothing really in the past couple have done that. Pathways and maps we're still looking at, and we're still early, so we're still looking at themes. So those are everything to keep in mind, right? This one, I'm pretty excited about this one. Starts out, blaze the path, all right? Blaze the path. Talks about 2 roads diverge in the woods, and I took the one less traveled by. It's made all the difference, the road not taken. Okay, so it starts out, again, I pay attention, but I don't really take clues from the first or the last couple paragraphs. We go in after his introduction. He talks about him as a child, which there was one thing in there. Here we go. And it's not on the first page. It's on the second page. So 48. So I think this is a fair game to take some stuff from. And I haven't heard anyone mention this. Listen to this. So second paragraph starts with I wiped. And we're looking down to one of the last sentences. But then, like a bee landing on a pistil, a ping of excitement buzzed in my belly. So that phrase, similar how in the last section there was the Japanese garden, I'm finding at least 1 or 2 sentences per chapter that they don't quite sit right with the old melon up here, right? Let me know what you think about this phrase, because to my knowledge, unless this is like a North Carolina thing, I don't think that's a common phrase. Like a bee landing on a pistil, right? I mean, has anyone ever heard that growing up? Oh, you're buzzing around like a bee on a pistil. I know a pistil. Pistil is the little thing that sticks up in the flower that has the pollen on it. But even in context, right? So in the context, he's looking for a quartz. He's disappointed. His heart says, yes, it will. Logic says, no, it won't. But then, like a bee, so excitement, anticipation surged through my veins. I plunged my stick, twisting with more vigor. But there's nothing that sets him off. So if you use the phrase, like a bee landing on a pistil, the excitement is the bee lands on the pistil, sees all the pollen, gets excited because it's food. In the story, there's nothing. He has a disappointment, and then I guess he re-energizes himself, but there's no other catalyst. There's nothing like, oh, and then my eye spotted a flash, so like a bee on a pistil. Or, oh, I felt I was close. There's none of that. I don't want to go too much into it, but let me know in the comments what you think. Is this something? How do we feel about this? Or maybe everyone who's grown up in North Carolina, this is a common phrase that everybody says. Like a like a bee landing on a pistil. I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna use that in chat, and we'll see if anybody picks it up. I'm gonna use it in the Discord. All right. Continues on. So another boy doing the same thing. We meet Rob, right? Who is Rob the main character? Is Rob the main character, or is Don Francisco the main character later? Who knows? Mineral collectors. Okay, nothing really popping out for me there. The image, again, we're looking for images that don't match. This image seems to match. Other than there's not really a lot of gold mentioned. There's a lot of gems. So maybe him holding a gold specimen called the Flame from the Red Ridge Mine. Maybe that's something. We'll shelve that. Also, the hues of this. It looks like there's some kind of Photoshop filter applied to this photo. So maybe we'll keep that photo in mind. Anyways, billion-dollar industry, really fascinating story about how Rob is kind of blazing the path, setting up this whole e-commerce site. His degree, a lot of dollar signs, a lot of numbers on page 50. A lot of numbers if you're into that. They're even numbers though, 5, 10, 100, 500, 1,000. But there could be something with the increments. If you're into numerology, I just want to call that out. You could also throw in his age while he's going there. Growing up, okay, going into page 51, talks about the Shivor mine, the most famous emerald, 96 karat. Going into green and everything. So not really blue, because that's another theme, is blue. We're not really looking at blue yet. Talks about green is the most, the human eye picks up green the most. Page 52, this is interesting. We go, because this chapter covers a lot of topics, or not topics, a lot of events, I guess. So we go from his childhood, we go to Rob's childhood, we go to Rob creating the business, we go to the mine, introduction to the mine, take a step back, go into Spain, which I guess is related to the mine, yes, but the more characters introduced. Holy War, El Dorado, Shivor, mining engineer Don Francisco, then he goes to find it. Very interesting about how they almost gave up, stick with it, looking for a path, looking for an image, right? So for them, their map was an image, which has a tie to the Pokemon chapter on how that image is the map. If you buy into that theory, that the book was all originally made to be sold as one, so there are some parts in it, even though he said not, but some of the stuff he says is contradictory. Not going to go too much into that, but his map, Don Francisco, his map was a photo, an image, not even a real image, but a description, right? So props to this guy for finding it, right? Here's the interesting thing that I took away, a boots on the ground hint for page 55. 1, 2, 3, looking at that third paragraph down. Fortunately, there is no jungle clearing required to find any of the treasure boxes I've hidden. In that regard, your task is a much, much easier one. There's a lot to be admired about taking the road less traveled. Following one's path is not always easy, but it can be amazingly rewarded. All right, so look at the juxtaposition or contradiction here. So the opening title, right, says blaze. Let me write it down correctly. Blaze your own path. It says blaze the path. Blaze the path. All right, which is a take on the common phrase blaze your own path. But nothing that we've talked about in the chapter has been unique, blaze your own path. Everyone's trying to follow someone else. Don Francisco is trying to follow the clues to find the original map. For us, we're trying to follow the path set by JCB. If you blaze your own path, you'll be lost. So, okay, here's what I want to talk about. JCB has said, read it right here. Fortunately, fortune, treasure, fortunately, there is no jungle clearing required to find any of the treasure boxes, all right? And he just mentioned before, when he hiked the Andes Mountains, I traveled over well-worn trailways. To bushwhack through those mountain forests is unimaginable. So he's talking about bushwhacking through the Andes, unimaginable. Here's a question that was been brought up for the 4 mini boxes and the lion's share. How much bushwhacking, if any, are we supposed to do? If you take what he said literally, he said you won't have to, but you won't have to clear jungle. So is he saying there's no jungles, which is kind of a duh, because I don't think there's any jungles in North America. The climate's all wrong. So it leads me to believe, if I'm taking that as at face value, that he hit it right off a trail, which is that kind of, because I think everyone's been looking. Well, I've been looking. I won't summarize and generalize. I've been looking pretty much. You start a third or halfway down a trail, and then you cut somewhere. There's going to be an indication of where to cut in, and then you'll find it. But this seems to believe, and I can't believe I didn't pick this up earlier, that, hey, fortunately, you won't have to bushwhack. Fortunately, you won't have to go off trail. I mean, blaze the path. Stick with most trails in America are blazed, right? So stick with the blaze. And maybe right under one of those blazes is the box you're looking for, whether it be the lion's share or another one. I think this is pretty heavy. This is something to definitely keep in the back of your mind when you go boots on the ground for your spot, wherever that spot is, I can't remember if there's a rule for how often trails are blazed. Maybe somebody in the comments can say, and that might be different for different trails. Like the Appalachian, every so many feet is a blaze. Maybe the Pacific Crest, every so many feet is a blaze, and the side blazes are marked different. But as of right now, if I'm looking for the lion's share, I don't know if I want to carry this over for the other boxes, but if I'm looking for the lion's share, I'm looking at the bottom of a blaze. And I'm not leaning to going as far off trail as possible. Before I was thinking, all right, wherever the lion's share leads us, there's going to be a trail. You're going to go a third, maybe halfway down it and cut off at some point, and you're going to spend the rest of the mile and a half off trail. But that would kind of go against what he said about all you need is shoes, a book, and water to find it. I mean, tell me what you think. Write in the comments. Now, after having read this, chapter 4, page 55, looking into about, fortunately, no jungle clearing, is he just saying, hey, we won't be in any jungles, which is kind of a duh thing because there's no jungles in North America? Or is he saying you don't need a bushwhack? It's like right off a trail. And so that would lead to, you'd want to pick trails that are very, very, have low foot traffic, right? Very, very unpopular trails, which could help you narrow some down. So, okay, coming to the end, this is a shorter, it's not a shorter chapter, but this is a shorter clue video. Because then it goes into the end here. And the thing about the no jungle clearing is it's just in the sweet spot of following my made-up rule about not being too close to the end, right? There's still 3 more paragraphs closing up the chapter and introducing the next one with a segue. So I think it's valid, right? So we found some, right? This is some of the details I'm talking about, is the bee and the pistil, and this little detail about the clearing. So that's one of the things we're looking for, is looking for little details. As far as pictures go, no pictures really stand out as unrelated, because the one on this page is obviously related, right? It's Don Francisco. Emerald, obviously related because it's the emerald. But the gold specimen, maybe that one's not as related, because is gold even mentioned? Let's see, gold, let's see, maybe in about Spain, looking for God, well, Caesar, Cleopatra, Isabella, salesperson. He'd bring back to Her Majesty, at the bottom of page 52, countless pearls, spices, and riches. Right? That would be a good chance to... Okay, hold on. Here we go. El Dorado. El Dorado, they promised, was a city of gold located. What's the gold? I think that's the only time gold is mentioned. So maybe that's the clue. And that's one of the details clues that... So correct me if I'm wrong, but maybe gold is only mentioned once in this chapter. We're looking at chapter 4, lion's share. And if gold is only mentioned once, that could be unique, because most of the time when gold is mentioned, it's mentioned a couple times. And so the only time gold is mentioned is the top page 53. So again, maybe something there. Greedy queen, story weaving. The weaving's another theme throughout the book. Finance, El Dorado, Americas. I don't know. So keeping this one at 15 minutes. The main themes for this one are the one photograph of the gold flame that may be a clue or something. Definitely details seem odd, is the bee on a pistil, and the no bushwhacking thing, which could be a boots on the ground clue. As far as the color blue, don't really see much blue there. As far as mirror and reverse, I don't really see much for mirror and reverse. But remember, not every chapter is going to have 2 or 3 clues. This could be the one where, hey, all we want to introduce you is the clue with boots on the ground, which I think would be great. If that is, if we get some more confirmation for that, that's really big, because that really helps people narrow down their search areas. All right. So that's the end of this one. Hopefully something I've said sparked something in you. Really appreciating The videos now are getting more comments, which I appreciate, and I like the engagement. If you have something that, I guess YouTube doesn't really allow a lot of private discourse, unless there's a way I haven't figured it out. So if people that have stuff they don't want to share publicly, I guess they're kind of at a loss unless they want to speak cryptically. If you find me on Discord, that allows for private communication. Same with TikTok, that allows for one-on-one messages. Instagram, not too many people are on Instagram. Really low engagement with the stuff I put out for my quest there. But hey, TikTok and YouTube I'm good with. If you like these videos, please subscribe and like. The videos that have more likes on them and more views, I'm kind of guessing that that's what people are more into. So for instance, like if I was doing the Joy Serenade, but there's not too many likes or views on that one, but there's more on the Lion Share, then I'll do more Lion Share. Or if there's more views on a particular box, I'll go for that box. Or if like the Lion Share is and the chapter breakdown is not really what people want to see, then I'll shift more into something else. But that's how I can kind of judge, along with the metrics and analytics that YouTube provides for a content creator. That's how I'm kind of basing on what I like to go for. I mean, I always, if I'm interested in a topic, I'm always going to pursue it. Views be whatever, but I do take that into consideration. Videos with the most comments, I feel, people are more interested in this. I'm getting tongue-tied a lot, so probably a sign to end this video. But that's it. Hope something helped. And we'll cover. I do want to go back to Joy Serenade soon, so I don't know. Maybe I'll do that later. Okay, enough. We've talked about a lot. Like the video. Please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell if you want to be notified whenever I do a live, which is like randomly. But subscribing really helps out. And if you know anyone else who's into this treasure hunt, send them a link, please. Thank you. Bye.